shaking, everyone? Welcome back to Mindset Motivated with Zack and Robert. We're talking about all things mindset and motivation based. And today, or at least this episode, we're covering something really, really important to so many different spheres of whether it's athletics or business or personal relationships. All sorts of things can get affected by this. So Zack, kick it off. Tell us what we're talking about this time.
We're talking about ego deflation.
Ego, okay.
Ego deflation.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this one. Me personally, man, I grew up, we were rough and tough. Like a man's man.
Steak tools and building things.
First guy into anything, I don't talk about feelings. I don't ask for help. It's the ego, right?
Yeah.
Ego led me into fights I wasn't prepared for. I got hurt. It led me into, I ran a business when I was 20 years old. My ego, I took over this business. I didn't want anybody's help. Man, needless to say, I ran that business into troubled waters. And you know what I mean? I thought I knew everything. I didn't think I knew everything. I knew I didn't know everything, but I didn't want you to know that I didn't know everything.
Right.
I wanted everybody to think that I was smart and I was okay. It also led me as trouble into life, unable to ask for help. My ego, right? And then what deflated my ego is in a desperate, terrible, tragic time in my life. Finally, somebody said to me, look, Zack, you can't save your face and your ass at the same time. I was like, what the heck did you say? Boom, I got hit. I was like, you're right, man. If I want to save my ass, I got to give up my face.
Okay.
If I want to save my face, I'm going to lose my ass. My ass is grass. Right? And then I started realizing, holy shit. This ego that I put up to protect me like a shelter so you don't see my
Okay, so let me just interrupt you there for a second.
Sure.
Tell me where ego comes from, because I think that's important.
Ego is here to protect you.
Okay.
Ego.
Does it come from insecurities? Does it come from the way you were raised? What creates
ego comes, ego is the way that you view yourself, right? Or it's the way you want others to view you, right? It's your image of yourself. And there's insecurities because we're not exactly those people that we want everybody to see us as, right? And when people start to see through that facade of what we want them to see, our ego comes out to protect. That's why we get, when people try to teach us something that we should know something about, we get very defensive, right? Or if a rookie points out a minor mistake that you're maybe making, that you're a professional at, you'll snap on them and tell them to shut up. That's your ego, right?
You know what? I feel like I can just like smell ego. When somebody's around me that's got a lot of ego or too much of it.
I call them dorks.
Okay.
I call them dorks. Yeah.
Okay, but
it's another episode.
There's a distinction here because oftentimes when a business person or a fighter or whatever goes out into the ring, right? Their trainer or whoever is saying, you can do this. You can nail this pitch. You can win this fight. You can last X amount of rounds.
Yes.
So talk to me about that. And are we getting into now the difference between ego and confidence?
Good call. Okay. So it's fighting, right? Shit. When you hit the ring, there's an old saying, pure gold will pass the test of fire. So you can put out all the facade and smoke and mirrors you want. Yeah. When the bell rings, it's you and the other guy. It all comes out in the fold. Now, confidence is here. And confidence is so
okay. So
beautiful.
For the people that aren't watching but listening, what do you mean here?
I'm hitting my heart, man. Okay. I'm telling you, confidence is beautiful. And I'm an instructor in martial arts, and I've trained many, many fighters, and I know the difference between ego and confidence. The guy with the ego is annoying. The guy with confidence is quiet. Right. He's cool. The still waters run deep, and the reason they're deep is because confidence comes from preparation.
Right. You were saying that earlier. That's so important.
Deep-rooted layers of preparation. For instance, I'm very confident in fighting. I am. The reason is I'm confident in fighting. I have fought for 31 years. I've been in martial arts. My dad was my coach. It's all I've thought about. It's all I've done. It's all I've practiced. I'm
not confident in fighting. I go to the gym just to look good naked.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah. And you know what? That's fine, man. But this is where I'm confident. Now ask me to go in and write an algebra exam. Okay, I can tell you that I'm smart and I can play it off like I'm smart and I can put my ego out there. But at the end of the day, inside, I know I'm not. I know I'm screwed, right?
Right.
So I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be, trying to put on a facade. But at the end of the day, my ego will put out that, I know what I'm doing. But confidence, somebody who's very confident doesn't need to say much.
Right. Okay. So what you're saying is confidence comes from preparation, right? And if you're prepared, you have every right to be confident.
That's correct.
Ego comes from satisfying an insecurity to show something to the external world.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we got this third ball that I'm going to throw in there. How do you distinguish this stuff with self-esteem?
Yeah. Good call. Okay. So self-esteem is rooted from self-love.
Okay.
If I have a high amount of self-esteem, I'm less likely to want to take risks to prove myself because I already have this deep-seated acceptance and love for myself, and I can tell you from somebody that suffered probably from very low self-esteem, that was not me. I was the first guy into any risky situation that may have compromised any, and that's because I needed you to love me. Right. I didn't love what was going on. I needed everybody else.
I love you, man.
I know. Thanks, man. I'd like to think that we've overcome those, but let's face it. That's why we're here. People have to overcome things. And if I never experienced any of this, how could I tell you how to overcome it? I couldn't, so I'm telling you that, certain behaviors come from self-esteem where we have this self-acceptance and the self-love. And, we may not be confident in something, but then we're open to say, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about here. Somebody with self-esteem will openly say, I am not the guy for this job. Or, for instance, like yourself, I am not confident in fighting. I just want to train to look good naked. That's what Bruski says. That's self-esteem and self-love, self-acceptance. He's not piping up saying, you know what, man, I've been training. I could probably knock some. He's not saying that. Bruski's been training with me for 4.5 years. He hits like a bull. This guy could knock somebody out. He kicks harder than anybody I've ever trained. You just heard him say he can't fight. I think everybody that's in the gym right now would say you do not want to get in front of this guy when he's hitting something. No, but that comes from self-esteem. He doesn't have to make you believe he's good at fighting. He doesn't care because he already knows you're right.
Well,
you see what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
But
Totally
but this episode is good because now it helps us identify the difference between ego and negative ego. And ego is something, unfortunately, that will stop us from growing and learning. When I think I know everything, I'm screwed, because now I'm not open and I won't grow and I'm not moving anymore. I'm now stagnant and rigid, and anything that's rigid will snap.
Yeah.
And that ego can stop you from becoming a better fighter, and me, being a coach, sometimes I gotta admit to my guys, I don't know everything, and I have to outsource and I have to find, and my biggest dream is that a fighter makes it so good that he comes to me and says, Coach Zack, I'm ready to move on and I need to go to a higher level training camp. And then I know I've completely passed on all my knowledge and done my job. Now an ego would say, no, you haven't. I'm your coach. And if you leave me, you're screwed. I'm already accepting the fact that I'm going to coach somebody that's going to surpass me. And I'm hoping they do. And they go on to, be the best kickboxer in the world. My ego, I've been able to deflate my ego enough to say, I hope I get to that point. And I can't wait till somebody uses me up and passes on past me, and and that comes from self-esteem and self-love, right?
Yeah. Well, there was another question that I was going to ask you, but we're just about wrapping up. So maybe we'll leave this for a different episode and I'll let you think about it. Okay. And the question was going to be for those of us who now understand the difference between ego and confidence and self-esteem, and they're able to isolate that they do have an ego, a negative ego. How do they battle that? Don't answer it now because we got to wrap it up, right?
Good call.
Okay. So just right before the bell goes off, 2, 1. There we go. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. Any last words, Zack?
Guys, smash the ego. Be willing to learn. Keep a beginner's mind. Approach every day as if you're a complete beginner.
Perfect. Mindset Motivated with Zack and Robert. Everyone, until next time, stay frosty.
And stay hungry.